conditions are affecting travel in the plains and Midwest.
Gusts of wind and snow that just come out of nowhere.
U.S. airstrikes in Iraq.
The strikes targeted 3 facilities used by Hezbollah and its affiliates.
Egypt offers a ceasefire agreement for Israel and Hamas.
An ambitious plan to end the war.
Good morning, I'm Monica Ricks with the CBS World News Roundup. Those wishing for a white Christmas are likely regretting that request this morning. Strong winter storms are blowing through at least 6 states in the Midwest and Plains. KCNC meteorologist Karen Geronimon is tracking it for us from Denver.
Today you saw the clouds come in the Denver area. That's attached to that storm system that's going to bring the blizzard conditions. Not only for eastern Colorado, but much of the plains as well. Parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, heavy snow here, and blizzard warnings in place, rightfully so, with very strong winds blowing all that snow around.
Many drivers are having trouble navigating through those whiteout conditions. Here's CBS's Major Garrett.
Snow and ice created havoc for cars and trucks on I-80 in Nebraska, shutting down part of the interstate to eastbound traffic.
Blizzard warnings are still in effect there this morning. Snow's also slowing things down a bit at airports as airlines prepare for massive waves of travelers heading back home after Christmas. CBS's Jared Hill reports from New York.
This year was much better than last. Fewer than 200 cancellations and only about 2,000 delays for U.S.-bound trips. Still, troubles for Southwest flights in the Midwest.
We're not going nowhere. No planes going in or out.
The airline blending dense fog in Chicago over the weekend with hundreds of flights canceled, but full recovery expected today.
So far today, more than 400 flights have been delayed and a couple dozen canceled. The U.S. has carried out strikes in Iraq on sites used by Iranian-backed forces. Correspondent David Martin has details.
The airstrikes were ordered by President Biden after a drone attack against U.S. troops in Iraq left 3 service members injured, 1 critically. The strikes targeted 3 locations used by an Iranian-backed militia, which the U.S. blames for the drone attack, as well as scores of others since the start of the war between Israel and Hamas.
Despite a new Egyptian plan for a potential ceasefire, Israel says it's expanding its ground operation in southern Gaza. Reporter Linda Gradstein has more on that from Jerusalem.
Palestinians say more than 250 people were killed in a series of Israeli airstrikes on southern and central Gaza, including more than 100 in a refugee camp. Israel says it attacked Hamas tunnels and terrorists. Visiting troops in Gaza, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the war against Hamas is far from over.
President Biden heads back to the White House today after spending Christmas at Camp David. The president plans to continue negotiations with members of Congress on a deal that includes more military funding for Israel, Ukraine, and southern border security. The Senate's pushed off talks till the new year, but aid for Ukraine runs out at the end of the month. Inflation didn't stop holiday shoppers from spending this season.
Americans actually increased their spending between November 1st and December 24th this year. MasterCard reports retail sales went up 3.1% from the same period last year. The breakdown shows spending at restaurants jumped 7.8%, while spending on apparel rose 2.4%. Spending on groceries also increased, but categories like electronics and jewelry saw a decrease in spending. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
You still have time to become a multi-millionaire by the end of the year. No one won last night's Powerball drawing, which means the jackpot is now up to at least $685 million this morning. The next drawing is tomorrow night. And Christmas may be over, but Kwanzaa is just beginning. The week-long celebration of African culture was invented in 1966. It starts tonight and runs until New Year's Day, and each day is associated with one of 7 specific principles like unity, self-determination, and faith. It's 4 minutes past the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 47 degrees here in Tracy, California.